Hello everyone, welcome to another video on Salesforce learning, and in this particular video we will continue our study on Apex triggers, and we will specifically focus on this video on after triggers. We will cover both insert and update scenarios. So we discussed in previous videos what are triggers. We also discussed what are before triggers. We discussed that before triggers are basically used whenever we want to have validation rules on a particular S object. Like we showed you the validation rule or the restrict of save of contact record in one of the previous videos. Now we also discussed in previous video that what are trigger events or what are events, and we also discussed about the trigger context variables. So these all are the trigger context variables. But in this particular video we will understand what are after triggers. So after triggers are any operation which happens post performance of the DML operation. Before is happening before the DML operation is performed, after is happening after the DML operation is performed, but the data is not committed to the database. Now what is the difference between performing a DML operation and the commit to the database? I'm just taking a simplest example that whenever value of a status field in contact record is changing from in progress to completed, in before context the value that will be shown to you is in progress, then the value gets updated to completed. Then in after trigger also the value remains completed, and you can update any related record, like contact is related to account. So we can update the account field, any account field. May it be status field, may it be any checkbox, may it be any pick list value. We can change any field on account in after triggers. So after triggers are used to update related S object record. So over here we are having our trigger in contact record. So we will try to update a related object field. So related object over here is account. So we will try to update the field of account inside a contact trigger. So that is the usage of after trigger. And then after all of this, the actual commit happens. The commit to the Salesforce database happens. So this is the flow of execution. Before triggers are used for validation, after triggers are used to update any related record. We'll move to the code. I'll edit the trigger. This time if you notice, I have written after insert and after update. So after insert and after update is written to update the related S object, which is account in this case. So I'll simply write a for loop. So I'm iterating over contact, and my trigger.new will contain the new set of values. If I'm changing the status from in progress to completed, this will contain completed as the value. So I'll check if the status, I'll check what is the API name of the status field that we are trying to refer in our trigger. I'll search status. The API name of the status, API name is the same as field name. So API name of the status field is status __ C. We'll just copy paste this field. And in the trigger we are checking if the status of the contact, the status of the contact is completed or not. So we will simply check completed. On.status is equals to completed. If it is completed, then I'm simply wanting to store the account ID so that I can update the account record. So I'll create a set of account IDs. So this is the way you define a set in Salesforce, by writing new set ID and then the brackets. So over here I'll write account IDs. So I'll simply update the account IDs as add, and then I'll write contact dot account ID. So account ID is one related field. I'll show you. If I go to the contact fields, I can search account and I can see the API name where account is related to contacts is account ID. So this fields relates a contact to the account record. Account becomes the parent and contact becomes the child. contacts account ID field is being added to the account IDs set. Now once I have collected those IDs, I'll simply write a query. So to write a query returns me the list of S object. So over here I'll write list of account and I'll say ACC list is equals to, then I'll write the query. Now how to write a query we will discuss in upcoming videos in details, but for now understand that Salesforce object query language, also known as SOQL, is very similar. Writing queries in Salesforce is very similar to SQL. So I'll simply write select ID, comma name, and I'll also have to write the field of account which I'm trying to update. So let me go to the accounts. I'll search for a field, a checkbox kind of field I'm looking for, which I will update based on if my contacts status is completed or not. I remember we created one field is verified, so why to look here and there? We'll just go to the field we created in one of the previous video. I'll simply type is verified, and here comes that field. The API name or the field name is verified underscore underscore C underscore underscore C gets appended for custom fields in Salesforce. So I'll write select ID name is verified underscore underscore C. From is a keyword and account is the S object. I'll also use the where clause. Where is used to filter out the query records. So where is one such keywords. I'll use ID, where ID in operator is used to see whether this particular ID belongs to a list or a set or any other collection. So I'll simply select account IDs. So now you are able to, if you are able to understand the relationship between account and contacts, so there is a field on contacts status and there is also a field on contacts account ID, and account ID is nothing, account ID of contacts is nothing but ID of accounts. So when I am querying on account, I am using ID in account IDs. Account IDs is a set. Account IDs is a set which is created from collecting the contact account IDs. So it will bring me all the related account IDs of the contacts that are getting either inserted or updated. Now I'll use this account list for updating the field on account. So I'll say account ACC, then colon, then ACC list. That's the syntax to write a for loop, and I'll say ACC dot is verified. ACC dot is verified is equals to true. So that means whenever a contact's status is completed, do mark its related accounts is verified as true. And but this is updating this account list. Now this account list must reach the Salesforce database. So for that I'll use the DML operation update ACC list, and that's it. I'm done with my after trigger. Quick save this contact trigger to know whether there is an error or not. It does not display an error. Is active is already checked. I'll simply save the contact trigger. The contact trigger gets saved. To see what this trigger has done, we'll simply go to one of the contacts that we already created in one of the previous videos. We'll go to the details tab of this contact status field. Yeah, status field we already have, so need not to search it. Let's scroll a bit down. So the status, I'll mark it as completed. So if I mark the status as completed, then my related accounts, which is my related account, Salesforce is my related account for this particular contact. So my Salesforce account will then have is verified field, which is expected to get updated. So if you see this account currently, I'll open this account. I'll go to the details tab. So this account currently does not have is verified as checked. Post we update the contact, then we will see is our trigger updating this is verified field of the related account or not. So I'll simply go to the contact record. I have already marked the status as completed. Now I'm saving the record. So once I save the record, my trigger might have run, and I'll simply refresh this page to see if my account is verified now. I'll go to the details tab. Yeah, now you can see that this account is automatically verified. So this happened. Why? Because in our trigger, in our contact trigger, we have written a code which updates is verified to true. So that's why this has happened. And this is the usage of after insert and after update triggers. See you in upcoming videos. Till then, happy learning and bye bye. Thank you.